Rally Fact is on tonight.
I have a job to do. I'm documenting this for national news. I'm walking forward. You're pushing me. You're pushing me.
Fascism rising on college campuses as out-of-control students are threatening other students and faculty. Tonight we'll tell you what's going on. Charles Krathammer will analyze.
The questions that have been asked so far in this debate illustrate why the American people don't trust the media.
Will the Republican debate tonight be better than the last one? Bernie Goldberg and I have some thoughts. Also ahead, President Obama takes 2 legal hits. His immigration order is still denied, and the Little Sisters of the Poor are going to the Supreme Court.
Wow. Seems like your prayers have been answered.
Caution. You are about to enter the no-spin zone. Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. The rise of fascism on American college campuses. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. A hallmark of fascist societies is the denial of free speech. And now that's happening on some college campuses. At the University of Missouri, President Timothy Wolf and Chancellor R. Bowen Lofton have both resigned because some students there say they did not do enough about alleged racism. There's no question that unruly students at Mizzou, as it's called, are running wild.
You think it's funny? You need to move. I have a job to do. I'm documenting this for national news.
You can
Yes, I can. This is the First Amendment that protects your right to stand here, protects mine. I'm walking forward. You're pushing me. You're pushing me.
I'm being pushed.
You're not doing your job. You're not doing your job.
It's our right to walk forward, isn't it? I believe it's my right to walk forward.
Hi, media. Can I talk to you?
No, you need to get out. You need to get out.
No, I don't.
You need to get out.
I actually don't.
All right. Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here.
Now, that woman you just saw is a University of Missouri professor named Melissa Click. How disgraceful is that? At Yale, hundreds of students march across campus to protest what they see as racial insensitivity at the Ivy League school. The March of Resilience, as the demonstration was called, arose after Yale Intercultural Affairs Committee warned students not to wear, quote, racially insensitive Halloween costumes, unquote. A Yale administrator, Erica Christakis, who oversees a residence hall as an associate master, objected to that memo, saying it interrupted freedom of expression. Her husband, also a Yale employee, then had to defend her from an onslaught of criticism.
By sending out that email, that goes against your position as master. Do you understand that? Then
no, I don't agree with that.
Then why the did you accept the position?
Because
who hired you?
I have a different
You
vision
should
than you.
step down. If that is what you think about being a master, you should step down. It is not about creating an intellectual space. It is not. Do you understand that? It's about creating a home here. You are not doing that.
Now, we have seen the rise of intolerance on American campuses for years. Recently, the president of the University of Louisville had to apologize for this picture. He and his friends dressed in festive Mexican garb for Halloween. The picture was called racist by some on the Louisville campus. That picture racist? So the next time I go into a Mexican restaurant and somebody's wearing a sombrero, I can cry racism? That's how absurd the whole thing has become. Rush Limbaugh made an interesting point on his radio program, saying that for years American college students have been caught that their country is racist, a terrible place. And now the students are acting out. The nutty college professors have reaped what they have sown. They are no doubt encouraged by groups like Black Lives Matter and other radical concerns. Of course, the same thing happened during the Vietnam War. When I was a senior at Marist College, I was walking to class one day and was blocked by a radical student who told me no one would be going to class. Ordinarily, that would have been a big bonus for me. But because this guy was intruding on my freedom to make a decision, it did not end well for him. I attended the history class Dr. Peter O'Keefe was glad to see me. There comes a point when freedom of speech, expression, movement, and thought must be defended. We have reached that point now. Get it, Yale? Get it, University of Missouri? And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight reaction. Joining us from Washington, Charles Krauthammer. So you were a student during the Vietnam era, as I was. Do you see parallels?
Well, first of all, you know what they say about the 60s. If you remember them, you weren't there. But you got to remember that I went to college in Canada, where the situation was radically different. But let's talk about what's happening today. What you're seeing now, and I agree with you entirely, there's a kind of poetic justice. The universities, the professors, the administrators have for years now, decades, been feeding their students historical ignorance, political radicalism, intolerance, and a sense of entitlement and victimization. And now it's all being thrown back in their faces. And as well, the same as part of that package, for which the parents pay $30,000, $40,000 sometimes, is an idea of infantilization. You know, this is supposed to be my home. You got to make me comfortable. I can't be upset by anything. And if I'm upset, I've been assaulted by microaggression. And now we get the spectacle in Missouri of the dean, the president, resigning as an act of supreme cowardice in the face of this bullying by the students who've been soaked and seeped in this sense of entitlement and victimization. Now, what exactly is the crime he committed, and why did he abjectly leave the scene? Remember, in the 60s, that same collapse of authority, that same walking away, hiding under their desks, happened at college after college. Sure. In the face of demonstrations.
But it's different today. And here's the deal. The SDS, Students for a Democratic Society, were the movers of intimidating the faculty back then. And it was an organized movement, and they were pretty vicious. But now it's worse, and here's why. If you're a minority student of any stripe at all, or if you're gay, or if you're a woman, all right, or if you are any other type of human being other than a white male, whenever life goes against you, on the college campus, you can cry racism, sexism, whatever. Whenever there's something you don't like, all right, and you alluded to this, all right, then it's the university's fault. If I'm flunking out, it's the university's fault. If I don't like my lunch, it's the university's fault. You give the white kid better food, or whatever it may be, so that you have absolute anarchy and fascism on these campuses. Because if you go up against it, then you're a target. You become a target. So everybody's scared.
And I think it goes beyond simple identity groups. I mean, even white kids are marinated in this culture that they themselves are, or their culture that they represent, is secretly or subtly or unconsciously racist, and they join in the self-flagellation. I mean, that's what happened with the university administrators in Missouri. And in Yale, you got this preposterous memo that was sent out about wearing costumes.
I thought it was a comedy. I thought it was a National Lampoon thing. And that's how ridiculous the memo was.
It said if you wear a historical costume, make sure you're not in any way feeding false stereotypes. So I imagine that if you go around in a pirate costume with a patch on your eye, according, you know,
making fun of visually challenged people. You can't.
No, but it's worse than that.
Let's take it out of the theoretical.
Let me just make one point. You're distorting history, because if you did a poll of pirates, you would find that only a very small minority were missing an eye.
Look, the sombrero picture. It's Halloween. They got sombreros on, okay? Is this racist? If it's racist, I can't go to the Mexican restaurants anymore.
Well, here's why I think this in the end will die out.
Because no, but tell me about the picture. Do you see anything racist about this picture?
We have a problem here, Bill, because I'm in Washington and all I can see is my own mug.
All right, it's a bunch of people, adults, with sombreros All right, a few have mustaches and they're holding caracaches or whatever they're doing.
Is the reference here to the Three Amigos?
Yeah,
to the movie?
I mean, if you go to any restaurant, Mexican restaurant in the world, they come out and they're singing Guantanamera with the sombreros on.
Well, look, this is why I'm optimistic, because in the end, and it could be a while, in the end, this thing has to die out because it is so beyond the pale stupid. But between now and then, when you get the cowardice of the administrators, this is now going to, in the short term, this is going to spread from campus to campus.
Everywhere.
Because these guys will not put up even a protest, let alone a fight. And if you're a student and you have a grievance and you want to get on television and you want to show that you're really macho, because you're not supposed to say that, then you do this because you know you're going to win in the short run.
It's a witch hunting deal. It's just like Salem was. It's where they're going to point at people. You're a racist. You're a sexist. You made me uncomfortable. You did this. You did that. And it's just getting. It's not getting. It's out of control. Now we're going to hold Charles over to talk about the big Republican debate in less than an hour. It's coming up. And Bernie Goldberg and I are appointing ourselves as fantasy moderators of that debate. We'll tell you what we would ask. Upcoming.